The pre-release 9 marker is the one question everybody wants to prepare for. I've made a video giving you the ins and outs as to how and why students often fail to reach level 3 answers of grades 7, 8, 9. I've made a video of a top quality level 2 grade 6 out of 9 answer, and here I want to show you how a full package 9 out of 9 a level 3 answer looks like. Okay, so to the question, to what extent is Tully Village development an example of sustainable development? Again, you can do the simple option or the balanced option. In the simple option, you do paragraph 4, a paragraph against. So you'd say paragraph 4, you'd say yes, development is sustainable, meets a growing demand for housing in England. You then follow that with data, and then you'd explain how this development will bring long-term social benefits at a local and national level. That's what makes you stand out from the crowd and level 2 into level 3. Talking about temporality, short-term, long-term, talking about scale, local, national. Furthermore, this development is also economically and environmentally sustainable. And then you have to explain how it brings long-term economic and environmental benefits to stakeholders. Again, stakeholders, talking about them makes you go into level 3. Paragraph 2, say no, the short-term environmental impacts outweigh the long-term benefits. Use data on urban sprawl and greenfield sites. Then you explain how the environmental impacts have negative effects, will never negatively affect local stakeholders. Then you say, furthermore, this development is also socially and economically unsustainable, and explain how it is unsustainable for different stakeholders. So, model answer. This is how I would plan it. First paragraph, I'd start with your point. Yeah, I believe that Turtley Village development will be sustainable as it will help to meet the growing demand for housing in England. Point. Evidence. According to NHF, the overall demand for new homes in England is 340,000 per year. Yet, according to Figure 1, only 170,000 new homes were built in 2022. The government has never reached its conservative target of 300,000. Your analysis. Figure 2 suggests that Tudley Village would therefore provide 2,800 new homes, with a proportion of affordable housing in an area of the UK projected to experience a 10 to 15% increase in housing growth. Figure 1. This means that growing demand for local housing in an area experiencing a supply shortage will be reduced, which in turn will help to tackle the crisis at the national level. Here, you talk about scale. Then your another point would be, furthermore, this development will also bring economic and environmental benefits, such as business and recreational opportunities. The new railway station will enable local residents to access better paid jobs in London. Then you explain that by saying this means that local wages will rise, which will boost the local economy through the multiplier effect, as more money will be spent in local businesses. Furthermore, the creation of footpaths, cycle routes, electric vehicle charging points will support sustainable transport, Figure 3, and the solar farm will provide renewable energy through development. This will reduce air pollution and improve the quality of life in the long term. There you talk about scale and temporality in the explanation. Okay, and in paragraph 2, against would be, well, however, your point is that it could be argued Tudley Village development should not go ahead as the short-term environmental impacts outweigh the long-term benefits. Again, temporality. Nationally, around 4,000 hectares of greenfield sites are built on each year, despite the fact brownfield sites could be used to build 1.3 million new homes. Figure 1. That's your evidence. Your analysis says that this means that this proposal will turn an area of open countryside into an urban area, quote from Figure 3, by destroying local greenfield sites. As a result, this will increase congestion and increase local air pollution, whilst increasing the risk of flooding due to urbanization in the floodplain. Again, scale, local. The counterpoint. Furthermore, the development would have a negative economic and social impact on the existing local communities of Tunbridge and Paddock Wood. Talk about locality here. Your explanation would be that development will put pressure on local services such as schools and healthcare facilities, as key infrastructure and facilities will take around 30 years to build and complete. Then you talk about time, temporality. One way to tackle this issue would be to build key infrastructure up front, and this would alleviate local concerns about the development. You're providing a solution, you're showing huge evaluation here. As it stands, local residents are paying the price for national crisis, yet development itself will only provide 2,800 homes, which is far short of the 300,000 homes needed nationally. Overall, the negative consequences of this development will only be felt locally. Again, you're talking about local, national scale here. So, if you did want to do the balance one, you should mix and match. So you do paragraph 1 saying yes, it should go ahead. However, if you talk about yes, it should go ahead because it's socially and economically sustainable, you then talk about why it's not economically and socially sustainable. To go from talk about scale and stakeholders. Paragraph 2, you say no, it shouldn't go ahead because of environmental reasons. Talk about stakeholders and say, however, there are some environmental benefits. And so, if you want to see what it looks like, here are my paragraph 1 point. Evidence, analysis, counterpoint, explanation, and you can pause and read through it. And same for paragraph 2, point, evidence, analysis, counterpoint, and explanation. Pause there if you want. You can see all the details in a little bit more time, and it should give you perfect answer.